Tesla? You want to look at Tesla? We'll look at Tesla. You gotta be patient though. You gotta be patient though. We're gonna build a watch list. We're gonna be looking at stocks in the market. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. All right. The most consistent live stream on TikTok. I really come in here, give you guys the game, and then I get off. I really come on here, give you guys the game, and then I get off. And then, you know, it's up to you if you want to listen or not. But we have been very accurate on here. I know a lot of you guys are looking at that gap down that we had, you know, based off of the Israel situation, right? But what you got to realize, it came into demand anyways. That was the demand, and we had that reject. And what you have to realize, and I want to look at the dollar first before we look at the NASDAQ and before we look at SPY. I want to take a peek at the dollar because this is going to be the most important factor that's going to end up leading us into that next leg higher. And I hope you guys are ready for that. Okay? You don't. This is not the time you want to be bearish on the market, especially when the bears we've been in extreme greed and fear for almost 2 months straight. You have the put and call options way up here. So there's a lot of good stuff working for us on the call side, and I do believe we're going to get to all-time highs, but let me show you why, right? So if you look at the dollar and look how it closed on the weekly, that is a reversal candle, and I would be surprised if this did not top out. This looks like it has topped out, okay? And what you have to realize is that this is higher, the dollar is the highest it's been since March. Since really this entire year. This is the highest the dollar has been this entire year. And if you look at the Qs, let me show you something really quick. Let me put you guys on, because this is gonna help a lot of you guys. Let me put you guys on real quick, man. All right. So when did the dollar end up topping out? We come over here, we look at the dollar. When did the dollar end up topping out? It was in October, okay? We have October 3rd right here. You scroll all the way up, October 3rd. That's when the dollar ended up topping out. And what do you know? That's when equities started topping out as well, right? That's when the NASDAQ, that's when SPY, that's when everything started bottoming out, right? So if you come over here, you look at the Qs. October is around right here, October 3rd, 13th. Let me get this directly right. It was around here. This is when the market bottomed out, right? The dollar topped out, the market bottomed out, and you've been seeing nothing but a squeeze everywhere in between, okay? And now what you're getting, and I tell you this is going to all lead up to something that's going to help you. I tell you this because now the dollar is at higher levels than it's been all year. Like even when we had that March run, let me refresh this. My trading view is messing up. Even when we had that March run, some of you guys remember we went from like 280 on the Qs all the way up to 380, I believe, 380. Okay, the dollar is higher than it was back then. The dollar is higher than it was back then. Okay, this is March. This is March. Let me show you something. Let me go to the Qs. This is what was happening in March. The dollar was going crazy, and you know we had this consolidation pullback inside of a cup and handle. Okay. So now what you're getting is the same exact thing, which is crazy. They're doing the same exact thing, and if you're not positioned for it, which we're going to talk about positions and the best plays, but I just want to show you guys why, you know, the why, and that why this is so important. Okay. So if you come over here, look at the dollar again, you're up way over here. You're sitting at 107. This is higher than it was in March. So what do you think you're going to get? But go to your bed. Go to your bed. What do you think you're going to get on the Qs when the dollar's dropping like it is? What do you think you're gonna get? What do you think you're gonna get? You're gonna get this measure move playing out. This is a 33% move. The measure move is to 470, 480 on the Qs. Okay, so the reason I don't want to come on here and talk too bearish, and you guys know me, I was the most bullish person on TikTok. All right, so exactly, a big boom is waiting to happen inside of the Qs, and all you have to do is make sure you're positioned for it. Okay, now I do think there's going to be some sort of recession happening next year, probably like Q3 or something, but right now you want to pay attention. You want to pay attention. You don't. This is not the time you want to be listening to pessimists. Okay, it's not time you want to be listening to bearish people, because we're sitting in this huge cup and handle with the Qs potentially can get to 480. And we're going to look at plays that are going to make us way more money than the Qs. Okay, now, of course, if you want easy money, you mess with the Qs ETF, you buy, which you should be doing that anyways. You should be building that foundation. But options, there's so many great plays out there that we're going to be looking at, okay? Somebody even said TQQQ. Exactly. This is the 3X. Some people don't know what TQQQ is. This is basically the Qs, but it's 3X. So let's say the Qs goes up 33%, which I believe the Q is going to go up 33% based off the measured move that we have right here. It'll get to 480. I mean, some of you guys remember me streaming back in February and March when I was saying 350 and the Qs was at 290, and you know, so and the price target hit. It went all the way up to 387. So it might even overshoot 480. It might get to 500. You know, it might get to 500. But if it goes up 33%, which is the measure move, that means TQQQ will go up 33% times 3. And we already have that measured out. You know, we already have it measured out. It'll go up potentially 100%, and that'll put it at $70. But I really think it's going to go up way more. I think it really touched the top of this trend. But that's a topic for a different day. I mean, it's sitting in a nice pattern anyways. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for the Qs and why I believe we're still very, very, very bullish. You have the dollar. You have the dollar rallying, right? But it's now topped out and it's now coming down. You have mass fear inside the market. You have the Israel thing happening now, to where there's going to be even more fear, which, you know, that sucks, but it is what it is. Extreme fear on the put and calls as well. So this is the best time, man, and we're going to be looking at some great plays this week. And anyways, before we even get started, let's make sure because what we're really about to go over is money making plays. Like, this is no, like, if you go on CNBC, if you go really anywhere, nobody's giving this much game for the free ski. I'm just coming out here for the free ski. And the thing is, this isn't the first time I'm live. I've been doing this all year for 10 months straight, giving you bullish plays on the free ski, and they've been playing out. So let's make sure we like this. Tell me where you guys are from in the comments, and then we'll get started. Let me look at some of the comments you guys have. My QQQ position is from like 257. Exactly. Same. Same. Like, dang, you got like the bottom. Mine is probably like 270, but we really got into options. We got some June calls this year, like in December, and those went up. You know, I bought them for 2,000. They went up to 15,000. They really topped out at like 40K, but you know, I sold early. But there's still a lot more plays. But yeah, it really is the free ski. Like, I come in here, it's great information. Like, you can't find this anywhere. It's great information. But anyways, let's move on to some individual tickers. Somebody said, do we think it's a trend week next week? That's always tough to say. It's hard. It's always hard to try to predict what's going to happen next week or, you know, tomorrow. That's a little tougher, and that requires like live. You got to be live trading, which we do inside the Discord. You got to be looking at it actively. But I can tell you, by Q1, we should be seeing this at all-time highs. Q1 of 2024. Okay, but let's look at Tesla. A lot of people are talking about Tesla, so we're gonna take a look at Tesla. And I mean, if you guys have been tuning into the live streams for some time now, you know we've been doing Tesla just the worst way. We've been, you know, like we literally caught the bottom right here in the previous stream in August. We caught the bottom again right here in September. That was actually a recent one. But now let's just see what it's gonna do. Let me delete all this. I know some of you guys missed the live stream from, you know, you guys miss live streams and you don't really, you know, it is what it is. So we're gonna just do a fresh opinion about what Tesla could potentially do. And you guys know, if you look at the Nasdaq, we're currently gapping down, right? So we're down 0.60%. But to me, that's no reason to worry. That just means you're getting a better dip buying opportunity, and you're getting bears more excited because of some pessimist stuff happening in different countries. Okay, just like it was when Russia invaded Ukraine, right? You had that huge gap down, and then it just got bought all the way back up. Now, I'm not gonna say it's the same situation, but if I'm looking at Tesla and it rallied like this, I wouldn't even want to buy calls anyways. You're trying to buy it at a resistance. Now, that's never the smart thing to do. You don't ever want to try to buy at resistances. It's better to buy at the supports. I always teach you guys the 618 move that you can do. And if you just literally take the swing low to the swing high like you could have done on last week, Thursday, you could have been able to catch this dip like we did inside of the Discord, because we were telling you, you don't buy at these resistances. You wait for it to fall back down, come into this 618, which is the perfect buying area, the perfect correction. And that was the perfect time to buy. So what you can do now is do the same exact thing. So you take this swing low to swing high, and then you would be wanting to catch this dip at 255, 254.60. Okay, and that matches up perfectly because you even have some wickage that's happening right there. So if I'm looking at Tesla, there's no way I'm going to be shorting Tesla. Okay, there's absolutely no way I'm going to be trying to short some Tesla. So I'll be waiting for the next good buying opportunity, and that is around 254.60, 255. Okay, now in the bigger picture, if you have Tesla shares, you should not be trying to sell this at all. You know the measured move on this is to all-time highs, right? Like, if we come over here, look at the weekly time frame, you know what this is doing. You know what this is doing, okay? We come over here, draw a measure move, and it literally tells you it's going to get to 450, okay? Now, when, that's a little tougher to say. You know, I like I said, I think by Q1 of 2024, we really see Tesla at all-time highs, but in this week, in the next week, in the next month, it's harder to kind of predict. So in the shorter term, I'll be looking for that bounce at 254 or whoa, what do we have? 250, let me see. Yeah, we had 255 right here. Just inside of here, I'll be looking for a nice little bouncy. I'll be looking for a nice little bouncy inside of there. So that's what I'm looking at for Tesla. There's no reason to be bearish on Tesla at all. It continues to make these higher lows like you've been seeing all year. So, you know, that's what I think about Tesla. Anyways, let's move on. Why are you saying SPY to 500? Let me know your thoughts. If you missed, you know, what we talked about with the dollar, and what we talked about with a bunch of other things, then you missed it. But let's look at Apple. Let's look at Apple, and then we'll look at Amazon. Look, we're going to look at every single ticker that you guys want to look at, because I think there's a lot of potential right now. Like, I really think there's so much potential for a lot of these stocks, and I don't want to miss out on any of them. You know, I'm trying to make a lot of money, and I think a lot of money is still to the upside. You know, we're in extreme fear. We're in fear right here. We got people, you know, pessimists thinking debt ceiling. You know, there's just a bunch of negative stuff happening. But guess what? It's a good time for bulls. So for Apple, we literally charted Apple, you know, way back here when it was at the bottom, and you know, it went crazy. So if we're looking at Apple again, like I said, the Nasdaq looks like it might have a nice little gap down. You never even want to be, like, if you're a bull, you should be happy that we're about to have a gap down anyways. But you never want to try to buy at these resistances. You always want to wait for a nice little pullback. I think a nice little pullback would be inside of here. You want it at 175. 175. And the beauty about that, let me show you the beauty about that. If you zoom out, the beauty about that is that it's going to retest. It's going to retest the inverse head and shoulders. You have a left head, you have the head, and then you have the right. I mean, you have the left shoulder, head, and then right shoulder. That is going to retest on Apple. Okay. So if I'm looking at Apple, I'm waiting for it to come inside of this big demand. I would not be trying to buy Apple. Like, even if Apple, okay, we have Apple at 177 right now. If Apple opens at 177, 10, don't look to get in the calls because you're still trying to buy a breakout. That's not what you want to do. You want to sit back, you want to remain calm, and you want to try to catch a nice bounce. And if it never comes to the bounce, well, you missed it right here. You don't want to try to buy someone's contract up 200%. Like someone's already making 200% from this, okay? Because they were smart, they bought the dip, and now you want to be smart and you want to try to buy this dip at 175. And the good thing about buying these bounces is that you're able to get a good risk to reward as well. So let's say you bought this dip. Let's say you got Apple at 175. You got some weekly 176 calls on Apple at 175 right here. All you would have to do is stop out once it closes below 174.50. That's got to be less than a 10-20% loss. Okay, so I'll be waiting for 175. That's what I think about Apple. I like it though. I like it. No way I'd short it. If I'm talking about anything, there's no way I'm shorting any of this. No way. No way. Let's keep running up the likes. We got 3K likes. Let's try to get to 10K. No, 5K. We'll do 5K first. 5K. All right, let's look at Amazon. We got a lot of people asking about Amazon. Coinbase is a beauty. I think Coinbase is going to make a lot of people a lot of money. Okay, let's just put it that way. It's literally the only regulated exchange right now. I think it's going to make people money like this time around. I don't think it's a good long-term type of stock to hold, mainly because you see what happened to Robinhood. There's just stuff like that. But is it a good stock to buy right now? Absolutely. The contracts are not even that expensive, and it is volatile. It runs. But if we're looking at Amazon, what you have to realize is that this is one of the best stocks to buy and hold right now. And the reason I'm saying that, I'm just going to give you a briefing because some people come in here, they just want to check out options. They just want to, do all that stuff. But the real people that come in here, they know that buying equity and actually owning a piece of some of this is the smarter way you can do it, and then play with the options. Okay? So if we're looking at Amazon, this is a stock that never went crazy in 2021. All it did was sit here and consolidate. That's all it did. In 2021, when the markets were going crazy and you had NFT selling for millions of dollars, Amazon just sat there. And I'm telling you, that is a beautiful thing if you're looking to long-term invest into Amazon, because Amazon is literally, they have Amazon Originals. Fastest shipping company in the world. Like, they have a monopoly. You got the FTC trying to sue them. Okay? And the FTC only sues companies that end up going to all-time highs again and again and again. You can go back and research that, okay? They sued Facebook. They sued Microsoft. Guess what? All those companies with the all-time highs after. Okay? But the TA-wise, if you look at the TA-wise, this is a morning star forming on the weekly. Okay? Some of you guys are like, what the heck is a morning star? This is a morning star formation forming on the weekly. Okay? This is the morning star pattern. Morning star candlestick pattern. If you look at this, and then you look at this, it's the exact same thing. Okay? So if we're looking at Amazon and you're not trying to buy longer term expiration dates, you want to try to catch a bounce, like we talked about on Apple, like we talked about on Tesla. You definitely want to try to catch a bounce on Amazon, because I think a reject is actually coming soon. And I'm saying that because you got the reject right here on the 21 EMA, you got the reject right here, and it's currently sitting there again. And you have the NASDAQ gapping down after hours because of what's happening in Israel. So the best thing you could do with Amazon, and I think in the market right now in general, is wait for some bounces. I mean, if you didn't catch the squeeze on Friday, you want to wait for some bounces for sure anyways. You don't even want to look at calls until you get a good buying area for it. So a good buying area that I'd be waiting for Amazon this week. Now, stuff like what you have to realize, if you're not trying to buy these next year March 2024 calls on Amazon, the 130s, and spend that amount of money, then you want to be inside the Discord, because then we can kind of guide you on if this bounce is gonna hold up or not. Okay, like there's stuff there's things you have to realize. You have to know how to trade. You have to have people to help you look at this kind of stuff if you are looking to day trade Amazon tomorrow, or you're looking to get into some weekly contracts tomorrow. You got to have someone like, oh yeah, like this is a strong bounce area. We're looking at the volume, the Nasdaq looks like, stuff like that. But if you're looking for like some Q1 2024 calls, man, you're gonna be good. Okay, but I'd be looking at the 125.60 bounce on Amazon, and I'd be going from there. This is by no means bearish. I mean, let me delete all this. This is by no means bearish in the long term. Okay, you literally have so much bull divergence happening on the 8 hour. But like I said, this is a rejection point, and you should be looking for a better entry than trying to catch Amazon on a 1.6% up day. All right. Why no short on Apple? Because, okay, if you want to get shorts, I mean, by all means, go ahead. But when you know the market when you know the market is going to go to all-time highs, and you know the dollar has topped out, you're more than likely setting yourself up for to get squeezed where there's absolutely no exits, like what happened on Friday. Okay, the people that swung puts, or the people that tried catching puts in the morning and they ended up getting squeezed out, and there was literally no exit. There's literally no exit. And by exit, I mean, you get some money back. Like, no, you literally got squeezed. And you get no money back. So that's why I say be careful right now, because you're seeing the dollar reversing. You're seeing the dollar at highs you haven't seen all year. And when that happens, well, you know what happens. You know what happens. Please look at Netflix. I do want to look at Netflix. If I'm missing any of you guys' plays, man, you got to be inside the Discord. Like, first of all, I always make sure I answer everyone in here. I like looking at the different plays. I like seeing what you guys are talking about. This is the Sunday live stream. We got to look at some different calls. How about Google? My boy Keno, we will look at some Google. Before we look at Netflix, we'll look at Netflix and then Google, okay? If I don't go over Google, please spam me and say look at Google, because I do want to look at Google. But we're going to look at Netflix because this one actually looks amazing. But before we look at that, follow the Twitter. The link is in the bio. Somebody said some Shopify February 2024 $60 calls. I actually like those. We will look at Shopify as well. Somebody said short it. It's a Iran war. Remember what I told you guys at the beginning? And to be honest, the psychological part of this is that they will dump it a little bit. They will get bears excited and think there's going to be some mass war and some mass thing that's happening, of course. But do not get this confused. The market, SPY, the Qs, you'll most likely get squeezed out. All right? But let's make sure to follow Twitter. The link is in the bio. Man, we got people promoting their stuff in here. Hey, man, go ahead and shine then, man. You got people promoting other stuff. Make sure we're following the Twitter. We're not gonna. We need one follower. We need one follower. Show your all-time thoughts on Snowflake. Can you do SPY? What strat do you use? And he said that twice. SoFi. We need one follower and then we'll move on. Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love, man. That's what I'm talking about. We come on here, we post great things. Came on here to talk about China. We talked about Amazon. Somebody asked about Amazon earlier. We literally talked about Amazon. First of all, this is what we posted on the Twitter on October 4th. This was like a Wednesday. The last significant retracement we did was 9%. This time around, 9% as well, plus the DXY's bear divergence. So we said a massive squeeze is coming, and this was when the Qs was 356, and you could have caught that if you just followed the Twitter. But anyways, let's move on. If you look at, all right, bro, that's what we not gonna do, man. That's what we not gonna do. Oh my. Like, bro, All right, if you come in here and look at Netflix, okay, what I like the most on Netflix, anyways, is the fact that this isn't even a short until it actually starts closing below 365. There's no way this is a short until it starts closing below 365. We come over here, we take the, oh my, we take we take the Fibonacci tool. This is sitting in a perfect buy area. It's in demand. There's nothing not to like about this to the upside. The only thing you have to do now is make sure you're not trying to buy after it went crazy. Like, why would you try to buy up here anyways? So what you could possibly do, and what I'll be doing, is waiting for it to retrace back down. I'd be looking for some sort of retracement. I'd be looking for it to come back down to 374, 375. There's absolutely no way I'd be looking to try to get Netflix way up here, okay? There's no way. I would look for some sort of retracement back to 375, okay? It's even breaking its trend as well. So there's some bullish stuff happening on Netflix that I actually like. I would just be a bit patient. And like I said, you want to be looking for some dip buys, okay? But Netflix, Fang, in my opinion, anyways, is gonna go absolutely crazy. Like we can come over here and look at Fang, which is Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, right? It's all those it's those five companies. And if you come over here and look at the Fang, I mean, there's nothing bearish about this, okay? Literally nothing. Sitting in a huge, massive cup and handle. It made that morning star formation that we talked about on Amazon, right? It's the morning star formation that we talked about on Amazon. And the thing you have to pay attention to most is that this stays above the 21 EMA, which is literally bouncing from there right now. The 21 EMA is very important in a trend market. You had it back in March where it continued to bounce from it. You have it right now where it continues to bounce from it. You come back here to 2021, okay? You come back here to 2021. Now, of course, you can't use it when the market's choppy, but you can use it when it's going down, and you can use it as a reject. But in 2021, all it literally did in 2021, all it did was literally come and bounce from it every single time. And you're getting that same exact thing right now, sitting looking very bullish. Okay. But anyways, let's move on to Google. Let's move on to Google, and somebody like these morning star formations are popping up a whole lot. A whole lot. I mean, you even have it on Google right here. You have the morning star formation. It literally cooked up. It went crazy. It was the morning star formation. So if I'm looking at Google, this is a great long-term hold, first of all. Just to get that out the way. This is an amazing long-term hold. And the measure move on this is to 145 from this bull flag that we saw right here. It even came down retested. Like, this thing gave some amazing entries, and I'm actually mad I wasn't paying attention to it. But if I'm looking at Google, it's coming into a resistance. So you guys know me, man. I don't like buying resistances. So if I wanted to get in Google, I'll wait for it to have some sort of pullback. Definitely wouldn't be trying to buy it right here at this big old resistance. So we come over here, draw the fibs. And of course, this will be a good buying opportunity around 135. Around 135. Now, me personally, I want to see this back at 131. You know, and that'd be an amazing. And that's because I like swing trading a bit more. But this ever comes back to 131.80, this is the perfect spot where I would be looking to get into some Google. Now, this is a good day trade level, like 135. Like, if I was day trading, I would try to catch a bounce, but I wouldn't try to swing it at that. I would just try to catch a bounce, 10-20% gain, and go about my way. But for a swing trade, this looks beautiful at 131 or 132 inside of that area, and that's where I would absolutely love it. But anyways, that's what I think about Google. Of course, this is going to continue to march to all-time highs. There's no way it would stop. Like, you really think Google's going to sit here and just stop right here? And the reason I'm saying this is because some people like getting the 2024 March, April calls 140s and just sitting on them and coming back in 5 months and be like, oh shoot, I got them up. So some people like doing. So Google, there's absolutely no way this stops right here. It just wouldn't make any sense. But anyways, I don't want to be on here for too long tonight. We looked at some great things. We really did. We looked at some amazing things. But I don't want to be on here for too long. Let's look at Shopify. Oh my, yo, who said Shopify? Who said Shopify? Shopify looks great, man. Whoever said Shopify, it looks absolutely amazing. It literally came into the buy area. We know that. We know that. And now it's sitting here consolidating, and there's nothing not to like about Shopify. Honestly, this is probably one of the better ones we've looked at. It's sitting in a buy area. You can get the 60 demand. Now, of course, you don't want to mess with it after it's up to 2.8%. But as soon as this gives a nice little retracement, I think it's a good one to get into. So whoever said Shopify, I agree. I think this is a good one. Looks very good. Buy area, like there's nothing not to like about it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, man. Make sure you're inside of the Discord. Make sure you're inside of the Discord. We come in here, give sports signals. We go crazy in every arena, wherever you want to make some money. Okay. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys in the next live stream. I'm out. Peace.